And welcome to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player. 2,000 miles to my left, that's Adam Carriker. 2,000 miles to his right, I am weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. And Adam, before we go any further, what in the world is on your head, man?
Are you jealous?
I might be No, you know what? I was going to lie. No, I'm not jealous in the least. I'm just confused. Seriously, you're wearing a hat of Goofy on Fourth and Pain?
Well, two things. Number one, I don't doubt that you're confused. And number two, this is Pluto, my friend. You need to get your Disney characters straight. This is Pluto. This is not Goofy. And, I've decided this is going to be my staple, I'm going to wear certain things consistently on the show. And when I'm a wrestler one day, I'm going to wear this to the ring. What do you think about that?
I think if you actually go through and you wear that to the ring, you are going to be the least intimidating wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. As it stands now, when you don't have that hat on, you are about the last person in the world that I want to be caught in a dark alley with. You are an intimidating 300-plus pound defensive lineman in the National Football League, and that hat of Pluto makes you look like a 12-year-old boy. A 12-year-old boy. And the fact that you're grinning so hard, that doesn't exactly bode well for your intimidation factor either, my friend.
Well, I think what I could do is I could just play the crazy factor. It's working well. It's worked well for people in the past. I could just play the crazy factor. But honestly, seriously, this is my son's Pluto hat that I just decided to don and have a little fun with on the show. We went down to Orlando and we saw SeaWorld, went to SeaWorld, saw the Shamu show, the Dolphin show. We went over to Disney World, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, all that stuff. So this was his hat, and I just borrowed it for the minute. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's seriously cutting off circulation. I'm an extremely smart guy, so I can lose some brain cells, but I think, yeah, that feels a lot better. Here, let's see if I can put on this thing here. How's that work? You see that Skins logo right there?
Yeah.
Is that all right? There
that
we go.
is, I feel like I have my friend back now. Welcome back.
Right.
Welcome back, Adam Carriker.
I'm glad you're happy now. I'm glad you're happy. But yeah, we had some cool things down in Orlando. I did take care of a little business down there, not just family fun. Let me look at my phone here because actually Brian Hebner and his son, the guy who's been a senior official forever, and his son, he calls himself Baby Hebner on Twitter. We actually got connected through Twitter. He's like, if you ever make it down to Orlando, we'll get you to a show. We'll get you backstage. We'll get you hooked up. So I was like, well, what do you know? We're going down there, a couple weeks ago. But I was like, and he's like, well, come on, man. And he hooked me up. We got backstage, saw how everything operates, got, basically right next to the ring. Excuse me. I got a couple of photos here. Got to meet Kurt Angle, which was really cool. AJ Styles, who carried Impact Wrestling for a very long time. Yeah. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel. Frankie Kazarian. Bobby Roode, the champ at the time, came over and introduced himself to me. D'Lo Brown, who, as it turns out, is a huge NFL guy. Big Chicago Bears fan, so I try not to hold that against him. But he was very cool. Mr. Anderson, so, he hails from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So we went back and forth a little bit of rounds about, I was like, well, last time we played Green Bay, we won, Then he's like, oh, well, we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, okay. Super Bowl. What kind of a big deal is that? But anyways, RVD as well. Oh, the story about Mr. Anderson. So he comes out and he wrestles RVD for his match. And as he comes out to the ring, he climbs to the top rope. And he's looking around at the crowd and he spots me and my boy. And then he points to his chest and he goes, Green Bay, baby. So that was kind of cool. And I shouted back, Redskins, baby. So that was kind of cool. We got Austin Aries here, and this was, I actually had the chance to watch him put on his, his suit and his jacket and his glasses in the dressing room. And what's funny, they have an Xbox 360 in there, and also on the TV, they were watching the NBA draft. So literally right before they go out to wrestle, right before their live show, they're watching the NBA draft. They're fans just like everybody else. A lot of these guys are huge wrestling fans. They have their own fantasy football league. And this guy, he's actually a huge Green Bay fan as well. And then him and I got to chat quite a bit. I chatted probably most with Austin Aries and Joseph Park. So when Austin came out to the ring, he came out during a commercial. And during the commercial, he's kind of chatting with the fans, he's just whooping it up or whatever. And he goes, I know you guys have been to Disney World today. You've been to SeaWorld. I know you all stink. I hope you showered. And he goes, who in here has showered? Raise your hand. So my 2-year-old's climbing all over me. He's playing with his action figures. I got Kurt Angle, Mr. Anderson action figures, popcorn. So I don't raise my hand. I'm a little busy. And he spots me, and he points me out in front of everybody and actually calls me out. Mr. Anderson just pointed at me. He actually calls me out. He goes, "Hey, you. Stinky NFL player, you didn't raise your hand." 25,000 people, how many people is in the impact zone, look at me. So I stand up and I point to my bicep. He goes, all right, sit down. You're going to embarrass me. But that was kind of cool. So I got Joseph Park here. I think he should just come out and tell everyone he's a abyss already. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. That's my theory. When I said this to him, he just kind of laughed and walked away. But he was actually very cool to talk to. I'm like, well, you know what? You and your brother, if he's not you should really come play O-line for us because you guys are freaking huge. And let me see here. Eric Bischoff. He is if I remember right, Steelers and Packers fan. And he talked about how he likes the historically good teams and all this and that. It's Eric Bischoff, so I try to be nice. So basically, if a team has a down year, you're off the bandwagon. So you just basically like teams when they're good, basically. But, we just had a little fun with that. Samoa Joe here. My little boy thought he was so cool. We got a little picture here with the three of us. And then we got some pictures of the show. And then my last picture here, I hadn't got to meet the guy I wanted to meet most yet. And this is basically, I got the picture with the Hebner and his dad. And then the face of wrestling, Mr. Hulk Hogan. His daughter, Brooke, my son kind of got away from me for a second. She grabbed him before he got away and brought him back to me. She's like, "Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute." I couldn't get over was. I don't remember if she had heels on or what, but I just remember she was like maybe an inch or two shorter than me.
Good Lord, man.
That's one tall girl.
And how tall are you? You're 6'6"?
I'm 6'6".
Wow.
I mean, she was no more than 3 inches shorter than me. And that's how, I didn't stand back to back to her, but this is a tall girl.
That's a tall girl.
Oh, yeah. Very, very pretty, very tall girl. And then obviously, you're going to post all these Twitters too, all these pictures on Twitter and our website. Right?
Yeah, we're going to put it up on Fourth and Pain as well. We'll make a nice little photo gallery. Maybe people can, comment about how jealous they are that you got the opportunity to go backstage and meet all of these guys. That's pretty, that sounds like a lot of fun, man. Even I'm a little bit jealous.
Dude, it was a blast. And then this last picture I'm looking at here is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Hulk Hogan himself. And what's funny is he actually got out of his car to meet me. And so we're chatting or whatever. And he just, I forget what he said, but there's something about me wrestling. And I'm like, well, I'm young. I was just kind of joking around. And he stops dead in his tracks. And he goes, well, how old are you? And I go, well, I'm 28. And I go, I just signed a 4-year deal with the Skins. And let there be no confusion. I'm a football player first. Plain and simple. I'm a football player who has a radio show talking about wrestling. And football as well. But I'm a football player. So anyways, I got a 4-year deal with the Skins. Well, he gets, you can tell when people are kind of placating you, having fun with you, and they're just being nice. He stops dead in his tracks. And he goes, well, you keep us in mind if you ever want to wrestle. Dude, I was up till 2 a.m. I was exhausted. You got to remember, a week of SeaWorld, a week of Disney World with 2 little kids walking everywhere, controlling these kids. I was exhausted. I almost didn't go to the show because I was so tired, but I wanted to go, so I went, and I'm really glad I did. I was up till 2 a.m. I was so wired from this thing, especially the comments from the man himself. So I had a blast. It was a great time. Yeah, I don't know. It was just an absolute blast, especially getting to meet all the wrestlers and everyone backstage.
Dude, that is, seriously, talk about a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You being a wrestling fan, having watched it for so long, and we've talked in the past about, how critical a role Hulk Hogan played in wrestling in the Carriker household growing up. He single-handedly put the kibosh on pro wrestling in the Carriker household.
I gotta let him know, dude, you killed me for about 5 years, man.
I haven't even met the guy. I saw him wrestle in person a few times, and it was just tremendous. It was still during his WCW days, and I remember distinctly going to see him wrestle at Thursday Night Thunder on TBS. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember,
Thunder.
Yeah, I remember
the counterpart to Nitro, and just being in awe of the fact of, holy crap, I'm in the second row and Hulk Hogan is right there. Wow. And
that's how I felt, man. That's how I felt. He got out of his car to meet me. I was like, wow.
And here's the thing, man. I honestly, at the time, didn't think he was as big as he looked on TV, but then to see the picture of him standing next to you, it's like, that's a big guy. That is
Oh,
a
he is.
seriously big guy.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know how old he is, 50s or 60s, but I mean, you can tell the man still works out. He's still got great guns for a man, he's 50 or 60, however old he is.
The only guy that was bigger than him in those photos was Joseph Park, who is literally, I mean, he's not as cut as you, but he is as big as you in every way imaginable. I mean, that Joseph Park is a big SOB, is he not?
Well, oh yeah, and if he is Abyss, they say Abyss is 6'8", 360 pounds or something like that. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely a big dude.
Wow. Okay. Well, this first segment is about remember, you guys can check out all of the photos on fourthandpain.com. Adam's also going to post them up on his Twitter account, which has actually changed, if I'm not mistaken. You're no longer Big Papa Pump 94. You're Adam Carriker.
Yeah, I did change it. And the reason being, when I came up with that, I just wanted some sort of a nickname. You know, Lorenzo Alexander has the one-man gang and all this. I was like, I'll come up with some sort of nickname. And Big Papa Pump fits me perfect. I'm big, I'm a dad, and I like to pump iron. And, I was like, it's just going to be a local regional name. It's not going to be a big deal. But if this show does what we think it can do and it goes national, well, I'm not the original Big Papa Pump, and I'm not going to pretend that I am. That is somebody else. So I changed my Twitter to @AdamCarriker94. Maybe I'll come up with another nickname of sorts. Maybe you fans can tweet at me @AdamCarriker94 your suggestions for a nickname for me.
That's not a bad idea. And while they're tweeting at you, they should also follow @FourthAndPain. Of course, we're also going to post all the pictures there, fourthandpain.com. But first down segment over. Man, a heck of a storyteller. I mean, just a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Thanks for sharing that with us. On the flip side of the break, we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about football. That's kind of your background, a little bit more my background as well. We're going to talk some pigskin. And, oh, by the way, we have a very special guest this evening that will be joining us as well. Don't go anywhere. He's Adam Carriker. I'm Chuck Carroll. This is Fourth and Pain.